Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got another installment of Chop It Up or Scrap It Up. I'm not sure. We'll see how this goes. All right, so whenever we're chopping up our pattern paper, we always end up with a ton of scraps that sometimes you don't know what to do with. So I came up with this idea. I'm not the first person in the world to ever do this. I've seen many people make cards or master boards and such out of scraps. So this is what my process, this is what I've decided to do. I found this big, large sketchbook at the dollar store. It's so big it doesn't fit in my screen. It's huge. It's like 14 inches by almost 11. It's pretty big. It's a big sketch pad, and the paper in it is kind of like a little bit thick construction paper. Let's see. I don't want to show you yet, but so this is what it's got, this like thick, I don't know, it's maybe like, it's less than 65 GSM, but anyways, it's like a manila paper or a construction paper. But I like this book because here's my idea. I have all these scraps and I don't know what to do with them, so I picked up a glue stick and I started doing this. I created these beautiful collages, full page. I'm going to turn it sideways so you can see all of it. So these beautiful collages with all of my scraps, and I thought, well, I could do one of two things. I can fill up this book with all of my scraps and create various designs. I could cut out the sheets and turn them into card fronts, or I could just leave them in this book. I really, really love the way these turned out. So I'll show you a couple of the ones that I've done so far. So this is page 2. Just want to turn it this way because there are little words. Do more of what makes you happy. Enjoy the simple things. And these are like cardstock scraps. They're not like super thin, like thin pattern papers. They're like the weight that comes in like the Recollections pads or 49 in the Market, things like that. So they're a pretty substantial card. And here's another one that I made. I had made this collage before I started this book, and I really wanted to put it in here, so I cut a strip off and I thought I can use this as a bookmark for my place where I am in this book. So the idea here is to fill up the book with your scraps, and then you can maybe, if you don't have any inspiration, you can tear a page out and cut it up and put it on your card fronts. So it's got a lot, it's really busy, a lot going on in some of them, but you can like color coordinate them. Like this one has a lot of purples and teals and sort of cool tones. This one too has a lot of blues and purples. Obviously this is my most favorite color palette. I think I use these colors the most. And this one's sort of eclectic and random. It's got a few bright oranges and really fun designs. But you can take a single page and maybe whatever scraps that you have for the project that you're working on, you could fill it in. And then you don't have to finish it. You can leave it and come back to it. I leave this bookmark here so that my camera doesn't try to weirdly focus, but you don't have to finish the page. You can come back to it when you have scraps that may coordinate with it. And then you can, do that throughout your book. So my goal is to take my scraps and build a little scrapbook. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I'll show you with what kind of scraps we're using today and how I'm going to work with filling up one of these pages. So I have some stuff here from Stamperia. I have some chipboard die cuts. I'm probably not going to use those. I have all of these cut apart ephemera pieces. And I have some pattern paper left over from my projects. Some of them are scraps already, like this one. I've cut this apart already, so we can use those elements in our collage. And so this is what I'm going to use for this project to get started on a masterboard. Also, you'll notice that this is probably going to be in and around the same sort of color theme as what's kind of in my book already, but that's okay. They're my favorite colors, so why wouldn't I want to use my favorite colors? Alrighty, let's get into it. So what I'll do is dig through all of my pieces and pull apart the pieces that I think that I'll use. And I'll also grab my guillotine trimmer, and if I need to cut apart some papers to square them off, I like mine to be cut with a trimmer. You can tear them if you want. You get more of like a distressed edge. You can ink up the edges and whatnot, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to dig through, look for the scraps, and then I'll start gluing them onto the page. Like this, for example, that's really fun. Or all of those little fussy cut elements that we could pop on to the collage. And again, some tags, something I wouldn't normally use in a card project. So this is kind of perfect for that. Anyways, let's get started. I may put on some music and just kind of walk you through my process, and pop back in for any tips or tricks as we go along. But I hope that you enjoy this process, and let's see what we can come up with. There we go. We have our finished piece. Let me turn it sideways so you can see the whole thing. I actually like that. All these little bits and pieces that I would have never used collaged into one beautiful piece of art. Now I can still add to this. Yeah, let's add some of these. So I'm just gonna fussy cut, just roughly, just bubble cut around some of these. That doesn't have to be perfect. So you can add something like that there, like that. There's something here about butterflies. There's butterflies in the bottom corner here, kind of off screen. So I wonder if I can just get rid of some of this blue a little so it will stand out a bit more, because the background is already blue on the area where I want to put this. You can distress these with like ink and rough up the edges and tear pieces and stuff like that. It depends on how grungy you want to get. I'm just going for what I think looks good. Yeah, I like that. Looks good right there. This glue stick is almost done. Oh, that's perfect. That looks nice. That looks nice right there. Yeah, I think that's nice. Then we have 3 elements of circles. And then I'm going to stop. I could keep going. There's so many things. You could add washi tape. You could stamp on this. You can add stickers, all kinds of stuff. So that's it. I'm going to call this piece done. How pretty is that? That just turned out more wonderful than I thought it would. Really pretty. All right, so if you have a notebook, pull it out and start collaging with your scraps. And maybe you can come up with some cool backgrounds and pieces that you can use for cards, or just like a little art journal. Whatever you do, just have fun. I hope that you enjoyed today's video and creating projects with our scraps. I will leave a link to some other videos that I've shared with ideas for scrap projects, as well as the playlist for my Chop It Up series, which has over 100 videos of different ways to chop up your pattern paper. Okay, thanks so much for joining me today. Have yourself a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!